Oh God, how exciting is this, Mike?
I know. Are you? I don't know.
I don't know. Give it 5
Let's
minutes
kick.
and we'll be out of it.
Here we go. It's Eat My Gold, and we're a day early this week because Pompey are off to Oxford tomorrow, aren't they? So we're going to have to go watch that. Not go watch it. Not going to go anywhere. Just going to watch it from the comfort of our own home. But this is Eat My Gold with me, Mike, and him, Dan. And this is episode 42 of season 1. And we're here
42.
to episode 42. Yes. More episodes than we have viewers.
Yep.
That's how it works.
We enjoy it, don't we?
We do.
We get to chat to each other. That's why we do it.
It's good to talk, isn't it? Good to talk. But tonight we will talk about the. It's not even as if the season. It's not even killed our hopes yet. There will still be some people out there, won't there? There will still be thinking that we can still sneak into the playoffs because we're 6 points behind with 4 games still available. It's not mathematically impossible, but the way we play, it's pretty much impossible. Portsmouth drew 1-1 with Shrewsbury away from home. Another lackluster display. We'll talk about that. We're also going to talk about reports about Cowley's overtraining of players. We're going to have a quiz. Then we'll have a little bit of chat on the Premier League because, we'll chat about something, I suppose, won't we?
Yeah, give it 5 minutes and we'll be out of it.
Yeah, it'll be a whirlwind. This won't be a 45-minute episode. And if you're here just for the Pompey stuff, don't worry. 10 minutes tops. We're done.
Yep.
We are done. So Shrewsbury away. We didn't go, obviously. Well, we drew, didn't we? We drew.
Oh, yeah.
That's what we do. That's what we do.
Yeah.
What did you think? Did you enjoy the display?
Not particularly, Mike. No. Same old dross, wasn't it?
Same old slow, boring. This Shrewsbury, by the way, is a Shrewsbury out of form and with massive injury problems.
Yeah.
So, and we pretty much played, I'd say, not far from our strongest side. Not far off, was it? Well, actually, having said that, Larry didn't play, did he?
No. And did we have Scarlett?
No.
Okay. See, this is what I mean.
It's all blended into one.
It's because of the 2 games over Easter and then that game. That's 3 in a week. I just can't get my head around it.
For context, we were talking beforehand about the game, and Dan was saying about how they all blur into one and how kind of you just forget about which one's which, because pretty much they all follow the same pattern, don't they?
They do. There's just nothing. It's just another nothing performance, wasn't it?
Yeah. So before this game and before the Easter weekend, you'd say we probably still had a chance to sneak into the playoffs. I know it was a long shot, and I know you've been pessimistic about it for a while now, but there was still quite a decent-ish chance if we put a run together. However, how have the team responded in that time? They've responded with 3 back-to-back draws. It could even be 4 back-to-back draws. I'm not 100% sure on that, but against teams really we should be beaten.
Yeah, exactly. I was just about to say that, against teams that we should be beating. If you're drawing against the top 10 teams, you think, away from home, it's not a bad result. But when you're drawing to Port Vale, Milton Keynes, and Shrewsbury,
Morecambe and Shrewsbury, the powerhouses of League One, it's just and then you see the likes of Connor Chaplin popping in hat tricks in a 6-0 rout for Ipswich, and they're sweeping teams away. Which
I'd like to know if have we actually played the same 11 2 games in a row?
Are you? I don't know.
I don't know.
Well,
because it always seems
even since Since's taken over, I don't think so. Have we?
No, I don't think we have we? I'm sure we haven't. I mean, there might have been a couple of times over the season that we've played the same starting lineup that started the game before, but I don't think that's happened very often.
No.
Do you think that's anything to do with the lack of consistency, maybe quality? I don't know.
There's clearly a lack. I think even the players who I think have been better lately, I thought had a bad game at the weekend. Like, for example, Tunnicliffe. I thought he was decidedly worse than average.
I did notice all the Tunnicliffe haters came back out didn't they?
He's actually. I think he's been decent for the last few games.
Well,
for the last few months, actually, since Mousinho's been there, I think he's been decent. But he is back to how he was kind of early season, wasn't he? I thought Pack again, lackluster. The whole team just lackluster, wasn't it? Lackluster is the word. And to give away, I thought we gave away a soft goal. I thought poor from Raggett to give the ball away so high up the pitch. But then we still had a long way to defend it. I think Raggett gave him too much space to get the ball in. Robertson clearly let the man go across him, get the header in. Nothing really Macy can do about it. It's a good header. Yeah. Avoidable though. Avoidable.
Yeah. And what I was going to say, what do you think about the Towler being on the bench again? Do you think it was a case of as soon as Robertson was fit, he was going to come back in, or do you reckon he has fallen out of favour with Mousinho? Because it does seem like after that half hour against Port Vale, wasn't it? Where he had a dodgy half hour.
He did have a dodgy half hour, but that's you can't. It's not career defining, is it? I'd say Robertson since had as I'm not one of these that slates Robertson as much as most people do, but I think he didn't have a great game the other day. And ultimately, Towler's the future. And Robertson, I don't think really has a future at our club, does he? I think he's going to be gone in the summer. So why continue playing? I can only assume it's because we seem to have a lack of leadership, and therefore maybe he thinks he's a leader and he's going to get something out of these players, which clearly wasn't the case at the weekend. It's the only thing I can think.
He's one of the tallest, so maybe that's why he gets straight in. He looks like a leader. He's one of the tallest, so we'll stick him in. He looks like a leader.
Do you know what? On that note of looking like a leader, you're looking with your Pompey star and moon behind you. You're looking very Viking-esque.
Yeah.
I've just noticed that. I just suddenly thought, it's kind of. Initially, I thought it was a little bit like a halo, like an angel halo, and then actually the horns are, making you look rather dangerous there, Dan. I'm going to start pillaging. Anyway, Calamityville. It's. I don't care what anyone says. If there is, you've got to be the most blue tinted of Pompey fans to still think you've got a chance, haven't you?
I just disagree when people say, while there's still mathematically a chance, you've got to have hope. Well, like you said at the beginning of this, we just don't have. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen because we've seen enough this season to know that we aren't going to win 4 games in a row.
No.
Simple as.
And there's too many teams.
Something remarkable happens.
Yeah, and there's too many better teams above us that will pick up points, more points than we'll pick up. So I can't see any of the top 4 really dropping massively. Not that we're going to catch top 4, but certainly not Bolton, Peterborough or Derby. I don't think we'll drop enough points for us to catch them. No. So there you go. Season's over, folks. Welcome to the next season. Welcome to the rebuild.
Yeah.
That's it. Really. We will continue this season, but hey. Let's see. Now, there's a question. I saw a question asked on social media this week about if you weren't, not that we are season ticket holders, just to confirm, but this was 2 season ticket holders, but if you weren't a season ticket holder, would you still attend matches? And it was kind of a bit of 50-50. Some people had the blind loyalty, which I kind of get, and I appreciate.
Do you mean would you renew your season ticket? Is that what you're saying?
No. Sorry, would they still go to matches this season?
Okay.
Would they still, if they didn't have it, would they pay for individual games to continue going? And it was a bit 50-50. Some people were like, I've been going for 34 years, only missed 5 games or whatever, which fair play, people like that. But 50% were, no, it's dross. I can't.
Really?
It's the only reason I go is to meet up with my mates in the pub beforehand.
Yeah.
And then the football gets in the way of a good day out.
Yeah, I think it's a difficult one, isn't it? Because I'd always say you've got to go and support your team, and it is a football match, which you want to go and watch a football match. That's what we like doing. But on the other side of the coin, it has been so boring to watch. Most games have been that boring that you possibly say, I don't know, it's 50-50, isn't it? Whether you'd, I don't know, it depends what kind of supporter you are. I would still go and watch anyway. in the hope that, which is what we've sort of had in this podcast every week, in the hope that it must be getting better sooner or later. It can't get any worse. They're going to play well this week, so
is it worth it? Is it worth the dross that you go and watch in the hope that you get that great game? And again, I know some people will be saying, well, you know, we've got to support the team, blah 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 blah, through thick and thin, through rough times. And yes, I agree with that. And fair play, anyone who travels around the country and goes to every single game, I doff my cap, because fair play to you. It's a hell of a commitment, and you must spend a hell of a lot of money on it and spend a lot of time on it.
Yeah,
I don't have that commitment, and I personally, it's an entertainment for me. And as much as I like the club, I want to be entertained.
But at the same time, you are like pushing 60. You've got a family now, right? So, but if you think about it, and I'm the same. We've got the family and kids. But when we used to go, with a group of us, we always have a really good laugh, and that's the thing. If you're still that age that you're going with your mates and you're you go in there to have a laugh, but also watch a football match, then it's different, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I suppose. Yeah, you're right. If okay, right. So we're saying yes, they should still go, and yes, all right, fair play.
You've still got to go, haven't you?
Fair play. Now, what were your thoughts on the reports this week that were? I know they're very thinly disguised kicks at Cowley, weren't they? But the medical team coming out and basically saying that their impeccable record was kind of was damaged during the Cowley era. Overtraining was suggested. A lot of injuries during training that wouldn't normally happen historically. What are your thoughts on that? It's a bit.
It's tough to know who to believe, isn't it? Because I mean, well, I don't even think that either of them are not telling the truth. That it's just their side of the story, isn't it? You've got a manager that's saying, well, why can't you get our players fit? Why are these players not back on the pitch playing football? And then you've got a physio or staff saying, well, they're not fit enough. There's nothing we can do we can't physically, we can't make them fit. We can't make them 100% fit. So it's difficult, isn't it, really, as to who to believe?
Well, you could say that, because the article was keen to point out that the Portsmouth medical team were award-winning up until that season, weren't they? They were award-winning medical team. I don't know what awards they won.
Got the 50 metre swim badge.
Because I don't know which ones they won. The egg and spoon race from Portsmouth Community School.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It is difficult. But I can kind of see what they're saying. I didn't like, as I believe you referenced, I wasn't so sure about the Ferrari reference. I think it would have been more of a Skoda sort of reference, wouldn't it? Would have been more relevant. If you've got a finely tuned Skoda, you know, test driving it too early. But
I mean, the only one that I thought he had an issue with was Lowry, but I didn't know whether was there more going on then. Does he think that there was more players that should have been fit? Because I know he actually came out and commented about Lowry, didn't he? When he was asked about it, he said, "I don't know what's going on there. I don't know why he's not fit." And there was sort of backhanded.
Well, that kind of, but this kind of matches up in a way, doesn't it? Because he was kind of suggesting that Lowry should have been back out on the grass, as he used to call it. He's out on the grass. Yeah, he's back on the grass. And he had that kind of that semi comeback, didn't he, with the FA Cup? I think it was against Hereford, and then broke down again, didn't he? And it seemed what the medical team this week was saying is that the reason why these breakdowns happen is because he's getting them back into training too quickly.
Yeah,
and therefore they're out for longer than they should be. So Larry's obviously been out for most of the season. Yeah, ultimately Thompson was always going to be out for most of the season, but Pack was out for quite a long time, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Who else?
Did you think it's a case of them saying, I'm sorry, Lowry's not fit enough, and him just going, I don't care, I want him back in training. You're coming to training on Monday morning, Tom.
Maybe he's possibly gone to the player and gone, how you feeling? Yeah, no, I feel all right, boss. And the medical team's gone, well, actually, I don't think it's properly healed. And he's gone, well, the player feels all right, and it's down to the player, really. Player so he feels right. I don't know, maybe, but it's difficult, isn't it? It's but it does seem it just adds to the whole chaos of this season. I think that it just seems snidiness, doesn't it?
Yeah, very
snidey
much so.
behind the scenes. It's not, all is not well. All is not well. I don't know. So lots needs changing, doesn't it, to avoid another Calamityville horror of next season.
Very good. Excellent.
Lots needs to change, and hopefully we can do so. John Mousinho, I'm still not convinced, but maybe he is the man.
I saw today, just before we came on, that I didn't see what the source was or what was said, but that Macy was a shoe-in to join us.
Oh, really? Good.
Yeah, I don't know, but that would be good if we can. Start with him, and then we've got one good player there, don't we?
Two decent, haven't we? As long as we don't sell Bishop, I think if we can keep Bishop and build around him, then and minimise loans and not sign Dale, because for all his industry, I think everyone else is on the same boat now, aren't they? Saying that he's pretty much no product.
Well, I've yet to see anyone. I did watch part of the Shrewsbury game, because I watched part of Dale and I started screaming, and then I went out because it's just I don't know. I don't know of a professional footballer that irritates me as much as him. With everything, just first touch, just I don't know. It's just weird, and I just don't know how people can go, "Oh yeah, he's quite a good player."
Quality.
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't get it. So yeah. Sorry, I interrupted you. I think.
No, that's right.
Yeah.
No, that's right. Let's move on. So yeah, the season is done. We will obviously a short trip up to Oxford. What's your prediction for that? Quickly.
8-4.
8-4. I'm going 1-0.
No, I said 3-3 last week, didn't I?
Oh, you did. Yeah, for Shrewsbury. Yeah.
Yeah. So I get 2 points for that because it was a draw. So,
okay.
Oxford away. Oh, I don't know. What are they doing these days, Oxford? They're usually around about our area, aren't they? They're usually around
they're kind of midish, but lower midish rather than higher midish.
I don't know. Is this the one, Mike? Is this the one where we're going to go and win 3-0? Is it?
No.
Is it? Who gives a shit?
Well, do you know what? It will be, won't it? It will be, because it'll then give you that little late run, and you go because then Peterborough and Bolton and Derby might only pick up a point somewhere, and you'll go, oh, we're gonna sneak in. We're gonna sneak in.
2 points off the playoffs now.
Yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there, and then just to give that last little bit of hope. Yeah, so we will win. Yeah. We'll win. We will win 2-1.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Yeah. Right.
I'll take you up on that.
Moving on, Dan. Moving on. Just here's something though, because I am on the BBC website, and on the BBC website there's a little thing. There's a Leeds fan holding up a scarf, and do you know what it says on this scarf? It says, "All Leeds, aren't we?" All Leeds, aren't we? On a Leeds United scarf.
All Leeds,
aren't we?
Okay.
There's no question mark afterwards. It's like Leeds. A statement. All Leeds, aren't we?
All Leeds, aren't we?
All Leeds, aren't we?
All Leeds, aren't we?
Don't get it.
What does that mean then? Yeah. At the end of the day, we're all Leeds, aren't we?
It doesn't say we're all Leeds. It doesn't say we're all Leeds. It says all Leeds, aren't we?
All Leeds. At the end of the day, all Leeds, aren't we? I don't know. I don't know what the context. I don't
get it. No.
Yeah.
Anyway, Leeds are in trouble, aren't they? Right. So quiz, Dan. Quiz time. Let's have a quiz time. Let's cheer ourselves up.
What's the score, Mike?
It's who won last week? You 12-8. Yeah, 12-8. That means I can't win this season now.
Oh, does it? Can't even reach the playoffs.
Can't even reach the playoffs.
Right. So what I've done the last 2 weeks is I've given you 5 questions each week on Pompey players. I've given you 2 names and which player has scored the most goals for Pompey. Yeah,
and because of my in-depth knowledge of our club, I've done very well.
3 out of 10 thus far.
Okay.
We got 2 the first week, 1 the second week. This week,
encyclopedic
Pompey players and how many goals they've scored. It's the same thing.
Oh, is it against? Is it head to head again?
It's head to head.
Nice.
Are you
I
going
love
to do it?
these.
Because
Yeah.
I've thought of something. I thought what you can do
Yeah.
is whatever answer you think
Yeah.
that you think
Go the
that's
opposite.
Go for the opposite, and we'll see what
Okay.
happens.
All right.
Okay.
Go on. Go on in.
Right then.
I'm also going to answer quickly. I'm not going to think about it too much.
Oh, okay, I like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Your first two players are Gareth Evans and John Marquis. Which player scored the most goals for Pompey?
Evans.
Evans is correct. With 39 or 38, according to different websites. And John Marquis was 37 or 36.
Okay. One for one. Good. Right. Okay. What I've got for you is I've got the official names of football stadia in the UK. You've got to tell me who are those football stadia belonging to? Who are the
stadia from 1980 through to 1995?
They're current football stadia.
Okay. Yeah.
Current. There's one real tricky one. I think the rest. No, maybe two tricky ones. The rest you'll get. We're going to start off with an easy one. I think. Meadow Lane.
Meadow Lane, Notts County.
Correct.
Yay.
Not correct. There you go. There you go.
Right.
See?
Good.
Yeah.
Keep them that level, please.
All
right. Your next two players are Ragatinho, Sean Raggett, and George Hurst. Which player has scored more goals for Pompey?
Hurst.
Hurst is, I can tell you, Sean Raggett has scored 14 to date.
Yeah, definitely has.
Hurst got 15 in his one season.
This is like my redemption.
Well, let's not count those chickens yet.
Okay, speaking of chicken counting, who plays at the Kirklees Stadium?
No idea. Kirklees Stadium, no idea. I should know, shouldn't I? This is a League One podcast. It's going to be some shitty League One, League
It's
Two
not.
team.
I'll tell you. I'll give you a clue. It's a Championship side. That gives you, allows you to narrow it down.
Yes, that makes it even worse because these are the ones that I should know.
Commercially, should I give you another clue?
Well, if you're going to keep giving me clues, I'll end up getting it right.
Okay, I'll give you a half point if you get it from this. That's the official name of it. Commercially, it's known as the John Smith Stadium.
John Smith's Doncaster.
Oh, so close. It is Huddersfield Town.
Huddersfield, yeah, wouldn't have a clue. Huddersfield, they used to play at where they used to play. Come on. Don't know. I know it's. This is the problem. I'm all right with the early ones, but as soon as they start getting a bit of money and changing their stadiums, I haven't got a clue.
You're right with the Roker Parks and the places like that.
Yeah. And County Ground.
County Ground. I do know this.
Clues in the name.
Swindon, isn't it?
Clues in the name.
Oh, it's
County
not.
Ground. It's Derby County, isn't it? Is it not?
Oh, maybe. Might have been.
It is, isn't it?
I don't know. Let's look it up.
Yeah.
It's all right. We can cut this out.
Or was that Swindon? It might be. Yeah, it was Swindon, wasn't it? What was Derby? What was Derby's?
County Ground.
It might have been Derby as well.
Swindon Town. County Ground. Swindon Town.
Yeah, but what was Derby?
Derby's old ground was
before Pride Park.
Wasn't it pre-Pride Park? Is that what it's called?
Pre-Pride Park. Right, I'm gonna have to do this before Derby. Right, carry on. Derby Ground before
Pride Park.
Pride Park. It was County Ground, wasn't it?
No. It was. I'll tell you what it was. It was
baseball ground.
That's what I was just about to say. Baseball
cut
ground.
all that shit out. Definitely cut everything up to where I asked you what county ground was.
I'll say Swindon. You'll go yes.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. Okay. Next one. 2 out of 2.
All right. No.
Right.
Go for full house.
Club legend Nigel Quasi.
Mm-hmm.
Or club half legend John Utaka.
Utaka. I'm going quick. Utaka.
You're going far too quick. Utaka scored 13 Nigel Quasi scored 14.
No! Oh, ruined it, didn't I? Ruined it. Okay, your next one. Ashton Gate.
Ashton Gate, Bristol City.
2-2. 2-2. Well, 2-2. It's a Desmond.
2-2. Oh, God, how exciting is this, Mike?
I know.
2-2. It's mental. Right. Are we ready?
Ready.
Now, these two players, they could quite easily have been the same player. Vincent Pericard or Freddie Piquillon. Which player most goals? Pericard or Piquillon?
I'm going to go Piquillon.
Not Pericard, who was in the he was in the team that took us up. Pericard?
Or Piquillon, the team that took us to the FA Cup final and took us
Piquillon
down.
Scored 11.
Pericard 6.
Scored 10.
Oh, yes.
Another
there we go.
3-2.
Back in front. Okay, penultimate one for you. Who currently plays at the MKM Stadium? Give you another clue. They are championship again. Championship team.
MKM. See, I just know MKM. I have no idea.
I can give you previous names of this ground for half a point.
Go on then. Give me a previous name.
It used to be known as the KCOM Stadium.
Who the what?
KCOM Stadium.
KCOM?
KCOM.
Yeah, got another previous name.
Maybe. Let's have a look.
Yeah.
Nah, that's it.
Right, let me think of some team. So it must be some team that's poo and is now in the championship. That doesn't really narrow it down. I'm trying to think of a team that's been a sort of League Two, League One. KCOM.
Any other information?
MK. No, I don't know, Mike. I don't know.
Oh, it was also previously called the KC Stadium.
Hull.
Is correct.
Yay.
2.5 points.
I was going to say Hull after the second clue, but I thought that was the KC Stadium. I thought, well, how many times have they changed their... What do they keep changing the name for?
It was originally KC, then they changed it to KCOM as part of a major rebrand as a stadium sponsor, KCOM. And now it's called, I don't know why it's called that now.
MKM.
Yeah. MKM, that's what it's called now. Anyway.
Cool. 3-3.
3 to 2.5.
3 to 2.5. Right, ready?
This one to win it. This one to win.
Right. Here we go. Last one. Everyone's favourite ever Pompey player.
Oh, yeah.
Owen Dale. Or everyone's favourite current Pompey player, Clark Robertson. Oh. Which player has scored more goals?
Well, Dale's only scored 2, hasn't he? How many has Robertson scored? Has he scored any? He must have scored some. I don't know, Robertson.
Robertson has fucking scored 3.
Hey!
4 out of 4. Hey, Mike.
4 out of 5. See, if I don't think about it. Right, here's your final one. I thought this was the most tricky one. Because who play... This is a Premier League team. Premier League.
Right.
Who play at the Falmer Stadium at Falmer. Falmer. Now, that's the official name for it. It's not the commercially known name for it. Because it has a sponsorship deal, of course. And it's named after its sponsor. But the official name is the Falmer Stadium. So if you know your geography and you know where Falmer is.
Oh, Falmer sounds northern, doesn't it?
Falmer, Falmer. I'll give you a clue. It's not northern. Decidedly south of Brentford.
Brighton.
It's correct!
Yay!
At the first attempt.
4-4.
4, 3.5.
Good quiz. Yeah, you deserve that this week. Battered me.
Thanks, man. I think there's just I want to talk a little bit about Premier League because there is a lot happening in the Premier League, and I want to get your views. So, firstly, Haaland, absolute machine. We knew he was going to be. He's continued it throughout the season. 32 goals already in the Premier League this season, which is immense. He's already equaled the record for a 38-game season with 8 games left to go.
Yes.
How many do you think he'll end up with? And do you think the total he gets will ever be beaten in our lifetime?
So what's his total as well? Because he's got 32
and then 48 altogether, isn't he?
Yeah.
About 48 in all competitions, I think, something like that. 47, 48, something like that.
Dixie Dean, isn't it?
It's
yeah, so 32, yeah, I mean, he's definitely going to beat that record, the Premier League record. Yeah, so what we got, 8 games. How many games? No, 6. 8 games.
8 games, yeah, 8 games. Starting tomorrow against Arsenal.
I mean, you'd have to say 1 a game, wouldn't you, at least?
Yeah, well, he's got an average of just over 1 a game at the moment. So.
Yeah.
So, 40 to end with.
You can't. You wouldn't put it past him, would you? You wouldn't say no. Do you know how many times he's been taken off this season whilst on 2 goals?
Oh no, how many? 6?
6.
Oh, that's a good guess, isn't it?
Yeah.
I bet he's fuming. He is an absolute machine, isn't he? He. The thing is, I was discussing this with someone the other day, and he doesn't do a lot other than score goals, which, don't get me wrong, that's fine. Gary Lineker didn't do a lot other than score goals. Ian Rush didn't do a lot other than score goals, did he? Michael Owen. Colby Bishop, yeah, absolutely. And that's what people have paid the big bucks to do, isn't it? Score goals. But I was watching him the other day. I can't remember, who were they playing the other day that I watched? Oh, I think it was the Arsenal game. Might have been. Or might have been the whoever they play after Arsenal. But
the other day, about 2 months ago.
Yeah, actually, I'm thinking about it. It's more recent than that. It was. I can't think of who they were playing. But he just comes alive. As soon as that ball goes out wide to De Bruyne, his movement is phenomenal, isn't it? You just see, and defenders are like spinning. They don't know where he is. He's kind of, and that's what makes him such a phenomenal player, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. You're man marking him. You're tight to him, and then all of a sudden, just a little bit of movement.
Yep.
And then it just looks like you've defended badly because of that bit of movement. Suddenly he's unmarked. 6 yards out. Yeah, just makes it look easy, doesn't he? Natural.
And the other thing I think is that more often than not, he hits the target.
Yeah.
That's the key as well, isn't it? It's kind of just hits the target. I was watching what's his name? Aston Villa striker Watkins the other day, who I think also is phenomenal at the moment. Not Haaland level, but very, very good. It's a lot of people raving about Marcus Rashford since the World Cup, but surely Watkins is on a similar sort of form, isn't he?
Yeah, and Southgate was watching the other day, wasn't he, as well? Watching the Villa game, so I would assume that he was there to watch him, because who do they play? Newcastle, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So maybe he was there for a couple of players, but
destroyed them.
I would think he'll definitely be in the next squad.
Yeah.
You'd have to put him in, wouldn't you?
Yes, you'd think so. So a couple of other things in the Premier League, just very briefly. So 1, Lampard going back to Chelsea. What's your thoughts?
I was looking at his record. Have you seen his record from his last? I think it's his last 17 games as manager. Yeah. I don't think it was necessarily as Chelsea manager.
No, but it does include Everton.
Yeah. Did you see that the record where 14 defeats, 1 win, 2 draws? Who should we get in? Frank.
Ledge. He's a ledge. That's 3 on the bounce, isn't it? Since he's been back.
Just get like when they normally get the second in charge or someone that just get someone like that to just do it for the rest of the season. Don't get Frank Lampard in.
Or just get Thiago Silva to do it or something like that.
Thiago.
Well, but bizarre. Well, if it wasn't for the fact that the bottom half of the table are all absolutely horrendous, Chelsea would definitely be in there, wouldn't they? In the mix. Just a lack of plan.
On a positive note, I was speaking to a Southampton fan yesterday. He was saying that they are definitely going down.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He's lost hope now, has he?
Oh yeah, I mean he's usually pretty honest anyway, but he just said there's nothing. He just said they just got. He just said it's just. It's very similar to the way we've been talking about Pompey this season. Actually, he was just saying whenever he goes to watch them, it's just nothing. It's just a nothing performance. Just can't see them scoring. Can't see them doing much.
Can't see them keeping a clean sheet.
Yeah.
It's looking pretty ominous, isn't it, for Southampton? They're 4 points adrift. Bearing in mind the teams above them haven't particularly done that well, but so 4 points adrift, and then you've got drawn, lost, lost.
Yeah.
I think Leicester are down as well. I think it's then one from the next three, because I think West Ham will now be safe. I think Bournemouth will now be safe. So I think it's one from Leeds, Everton, or Forest. I think it will be Forest, personally.
Well, I think Leicester's the biggest shock down there, because when you look, I saw the second half of the Man City game at the weekend. I mean, they were already 3-0 down after 2 minutes, weren't they, or whatever it was. But they didn't do too badly after the game was lost. But you just look at that team and you just think, why are they set for bottom? Shouldn't be anywhere near the bottom, should they?
It's not far off what the team they had last year and the year before, is it? There's not many, obviously Vardy's quite old now, but other than that, they're still a core of quite a young side, aren't they? Nacho, Maddison, sorry. Decent players. Barnes, I like. I think he's a pacey, direct sort of player. Okay, final thing, and it's the big thing. It's the big thing that's happening tomorrow night. Arsenal, Man City is at City. It's pretty much a title decider, isn't it? Arsenal are shaking of late.
They are shaking. 2-0.
Yep. City are flying.
Yeah. 2-0 up against Liverpool, 2-0 up against West Ham.
Yep.
I don't know, but then again, can they go to City and get something?
Well, this is the thing. If they're saying it's now in City's hands, actually, if Arsenal draw tomorrow, it's still in their hands, really, isn't it?
Exactly.
If they get a point.
That's the thing. They're 4 points behind, aren't they? But with the game in hand. So no, is it? Yeah. So if they draw that, like you say, that's. So
it's still kind of in both teams' hands. Arsenal do still have to go to Newcastle, and they've probably got the slightly trickier running, but. It's still, like you say, the last 2 games just show a bit of nerves, don't they?
Yeah, I'd like to see them get something at the Etihad so that it continues. So it's a nice tight one, rather than City just winning and then.
Yes. Yeah.
Answering home.
As a neutral, I think. I know you would rather see Arsenal win the title. I just think. I don't like it when you have a period of dominance of any team. When you have, obviously, City have dominated for a number of years. When Manchester United were dominant, although I kind of like Manchester United, I still think it's not good for English football to have a team so dominant. If you look at other leagues like Bayern Munich, you look at Barcelona and Real Madrid swapping the title. And when Juventus were just winning it year after year, I just think it's a bit dull and boring, isn't it? So I think it'd be nice for Arsenal to break back into that top spot and win the league. So I think it'd be a good game though tomorrow. I think it'd be a good game. And I think
Wednesday.
Sorry, yes, it's also tomorrow night.
Yeah.
What's the score prediction? Go on.
Well, if you remember correctly, I predicted Man City would win 3-1 at.
You did at
that
the Arsenal.
That Highbury.
Highbury, yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Back in 1997.
Yeah, because it won me lots of money. They had a £5 free bet and it was 20-1 or something stupid like that.
Yeah, nice.
So, but yeah, I don't know. I think Arsenal are going to surprise, and I think they're going to do a Leicester when Leicester were on their way to the title and they had to go to Man City. And I remember thinking, yeah, that'll be the game. Man City beat them, and then I think they won 3-1 or something, didn't they, Leicester? It was like Mahrez and Vardy and just.
They were quality, weren't they?
They were, yeah. I'm hoping Arsenal can go and do that. Just play without fear. But that's what I'm hoping for. But then you've got to factor in Haaland and the fact that people like Grealish are playing very well lately, which is good to see because I like Jack Grealish as a person, and I thought he got back last season, didn't he? So
I saw a thing actually about Grealish, or I heard it rather. It was on a podcast, and Jack Grealish, bear in mind, he admitted this, and I don't know whether there'll be any retribution about this, but when he returned from the World Cup with England, he went off for a little break somewhere, I think to Las Vegas or something, and basically didn't eat particularly well. He said he has a little bit of a thing for an ice cream sundae, and he over ice cream sundaed. Got back thinking, because he's just come back from the World Cup, he's not going to be playing in the first game back against Liverpool, and it turned out he was named in the side, and he said he was hanging out of his arse after about 20 minutes and felt sick. So
see, I quite like him. I think he seems like quite a decent bloke. He's usually pretty honest, and
honest.
The fact that it was 100 million and he had a bad season, or not a very good season. But they are playing pretty well, aren't they, Man City? All of them as well. Josh she's doing well at the back.
Josh Stones, yeah. She should have, would have, could have, shouldn't she? They are looking good. I think my head says City will win it, but I want Arsenal to. Yeah, I want Arsenal to. And then from watching the All or Nothing documentary, I quite like Arteta as well. Quite like him. So yes, well, let's see. We shall see. We shall see how that goes. So Pompey Oxford tomorrow night. By the time this goes out, that probably will be playing around about the time this is released. So hopefully we'll get something there. Give us a little bit of hope for the last 3 games, so that we can get all excited about nothing. Either way, we'll be back next week. Don't forget, like and subscribe. I should say that much earlier, but I don't. I always forget about it. Like and subscribe. Ching. We'll see you next week. This is my goal. Good night.
Bye, Mike.